here we are gearing up in Hawai'i Herpetological, also our home. And today we're preparing for storms. Tropical storm Hone, which will eventually turn back into a hurricane and go just south of the island. Might be bringing some inclement weather this way. So today we have to make sure that all our reptiles and amphibians, and that's right folks, I said amphibians, we have a couple new amphibians here. We have to make sure that they are safe and sound and ready to go, right?
Yeah, we have.
There we go, all geared up. So we have to bring our salamanders inside in case their enclosure floods. This is one of our tiger salamanders that we just got in Daytona. And we just dug her up. We figured that this enclosure might start to flood, so better safe than sorry. We'll move her in for a couple days until the bad weather passes. She is trying to go back down into the mulch. But that's okay, we'll let her hang out there until we find the male. So for starters, we're going to have to take this high quality tent down before the wind gets too bad. Okay, now that we've secured our tent, our pop-up tent, and hopefully our conduit tent will weather the storm okay if it does get worse. Now we're going to go look at bringing in some of the cherry head redfoots that we just got. We have had them outside. Weather's been pretty good, but given that might get cold and really wet and we might have some flooding, because they aren't quite acclimated to our climate yet, we are going to make sure that we take them in too, in case it starts to get too cold or wet.
2, 1,
Okay, so we got the flimsy tent down, and the girls are covering up the riding lawnmower. And we have gathered up our salamanders to bring into the turtle house. We will set them up inside the turtle house with a little bit of bedding and safekeeping for overnight. And Alexis and Victoria will then go find some worms for them to keep them happy, right?
yeah!
All right, in preparation for our incoming storm, we're gonna bring this tough stuff trough into the tortoise house. This is where we're gonna put our cherry head red-footed tortoises. It's gonna be a little bit tight for them, but you know they're only gonna be in there for probably about a day. So that's the way it's gonna go. Let's get to it.
Dad, the salamander.
Well, not everybody is so worried about the weather. There's Gigantia, and she's enjoying her little mud bath. This weather apparently hasn't been a big deal for her.
Not everybody hates the rain. She's out mud bathing.
Mud bathing in the rain. So there you go. Tropical storm on the way, and Gigantia, our larger of our two Aldabras at the moment, has decided to just sit here and wallow in the mud, even though the whole yard's flooding all around her. Imminent danger, not worried. So our other Aldabra, Gemini, has decided that she's not going out in the rain, and she doesn't care about the mud puddle, and she's going to stay right here.
Smart.
So this is one habitat we don't have to worry about. Permitted that the roof doesn't blow off. But as you can see, we have some Hermans in here. And we also have some Burmese in here. Burmese stars and Western Hermans, Sardinian locale. And they're going to be probably okay to stay in here just fine. They actually stay in here year round. We'll get into that in a different video. But everybody looks good. We're not seeing any water really seeping in, a little bit on the sides, but it's not going to cause them a lot of trouble. They'll probably weather this out. There'll be plenty of dry areas in this enclosure. These are our cherry head tortoises that just came back from Daytona. And what we've done is we've brought them into the turtle house, which has our turtles on shelves, and then doubles as a flat for the Aldabras. It's also their night house. It's about a 10 by 12 room, poorly constructed by myself. And yeah, and events like this, what we'll do is we'll break out these troughs and whatever we need to, and bring in some of the more susceptible tortoises and turtles so that they have a safe place to weather the storm. So again, temporary. We will soak them a little bit later today. Oh, something else pretty cool that we picked up at the show. We got some oxalato. Of course, they weren't outside to begin with. So, yeah, not so bad for them. Nothing we really have to do. But very cute. And they're just kind of hanging out. We had a water change and were fed last night. We're getting some aeration into these smaller containers for now, as we keep them all individually. And there you go. They will be available for sale locally once we're sure that they're eating and acclimated well. Okay, behind you is a big wrench, a plumber's wrench. Can you grab that, Alexis? It's time to do our final preparations for the storm. Let's do it. As a precaution before the storm, we are going to make sure that our turtle ponds have the plugs out. We don't have an overflow system installed yet, despite having the parts to build it for the last year. Procrastination. As you can see over here, then a few guys out. Ironically, the blandings are out, which normally hide. But there is a spotted in there. But normally there's more spotteds out. So the last thing we're going to do today is we're going to undo the drain plugs on these troughs, which essentially means that they're going to drain out. But last time we had a big storm like this, we had like close to 50 inches of rain, I think. We want to make sure that this does not overflow. Even if I had an overflow valve, I'd still take the drain plugs out in this situation. We can always fill them back up, or towards the tail end of the storm, we'll put the plugs back in and let them fill up partially with the rain and top them off to where we want them with the hose. So that's it. Let's get into it. So what I'm doing here, kind of hard to see, but I've opened up the drain plug and angled it. Water is consistently coming out, but not a really, really high flow rate. The idea is that nobody will get stuck in kind of the vacuum of the drain. So we'll drain pretty consistently. Again, there is a good flow coming out. It's kind of hard to see, but it's not completely pouring out. So then again, any smaller turtles won't get stuck in the flow. All right, in total we had 4 troughs that we had to adjust those drains for. But now that we're done with that, we got to play around with a couple turtles in the process. Got pretty soaked, but we got it done and we're good to go. All right, so we've finished our initial prep. Winds are picking up here, but where are we headed now?
Bakery!
All right, let's go take a walk.
After a short walk through the storm, here we are at Mountain View Bakery.
To get some well-deserved treats, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Let's head over there. Look both ways when we cross the road. How are you? Good, good. Yeah. Okay, so the prize for stormproofing the yard. What's that? You're gonna choose watermelon? Okay.
What are you gonna choose?
Did you girls both disinfect your hands after touching the tortoises? We're gonna make one quick stop to pick up some very special coffee for our fellow tortoise friend, Tim Beard. And here we go. Right on. Good morning, Brian. How are you?
Good. Okay.
Storm prep done. Hi, how are you? Good. And we're ready. Okay.
Aloha is the farm.
Okay.
Bourbon is the type. The 70-hour anaerobic. Lot first. So Portland, they use similar beans. They sell it for way more. This is hard to come by. But if you want some, I might be able to get some more later on.
Oh, okay.
But this is very rare. So
Awesome.
play with it. Yeah.
Okay, so we're just winding down here on our video. Everybody's excited because they got pastry. We got some really rare coffee for our friend Tim. And we're going to try to roast some too. And I think the final stop, we'll grab some of these hibiscus over here to bring back for the tortoises. So let's look both ways. Ooh, getting windy. What's that? Yeah, let's grab some hibiscus and call it a day. Okay. Alexis, do you have hands for hibiscus?
Yes.
Let's do it. Hurry, that pastry's getting soaked. They're not, those aren't fire ants. It's a different species, I promise you. Look at her, so hard at work. See, I'm getting some too. We have lots of tortoise mouths to feed. Okay, we gotta run because the box's getting soggy. At all costs.
Preparing for the storm today, we came across hibiscus flowers. For the animals, hibiscus is a yummy treat. Our Aldabras are very hungry and could devour anything. Gemini is picky, but a fast eater when eating. Tortoises need lots of food before a storm, just in case you can't go down during the middle of the storm to feed them.
Good idea to give them some treats before that storm.
Yum, yum, yum. These are platycolas we got last year in another episode. As you can see, we got a few more, 3 to be exact. Now there are 5. They can be slow and steady eaters and are as still as statues sometimes. Yum, yum, yum.
Mahalo for joining us today as we prepare for the storm. Gentle. They apparently don't remember how to open the door.
What?
Here.
I don't think we know what you're doing. Oh! What's that? What happened? Does it go the other way?
Oh. Hurry, that pastry's getting soaked. They're not, those aren't fire ants. It's a different species, I promise you.
We're playing turtle hunt!
Turtle hunt?
Yeah.
No, we're not. Take 2.
Oh, well, we
Okay, behind. All right. So, Alexis, take 2. Look up at the camera. Look up at the camera, smile. Don't look crazy. Okay, good. Okay, tell us what we can do.